Welcome my friends, I have 5 beautiful winter wreaths for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to share with you 5 different ideas on how to create a beautiful winter wreath for your home. Let me show you how to make them. For our project today, you're going to need one of the 3D pumpkin wreath forms that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need one of the super soft microfiber cloths. It is 16 inches by 24 inches. You can pick this up at Dollar Tree. Now when you open up your cloth, you will notice one side is very short and smooth and the other side is a little longer and fluffier. The side that's longer and fluffier is the side that you want up. We're going to cover the base in this fabric. Now you really only need one wreath form to do this project, but if you do have 2, I'm going to show you a trick that's going to make it very easy for you. And you slide the second one over the top. Then you can get in there and you can adjust and pull that cloth until you have enough space all the way around to glue it in the back, and that you're covering everything. So once you've played with it and you're happy, you can flip it over and then start to attach it. Just use some hot glue. Go right along the wreath form and take that and fold it over. You'll want to do a little bit here at the bottom. Then we're going to do a little here at the top, and then a little bit on either side, and then I'll finish going around. That way I know my cloth is positioned correctly and I'll have enough fabric to go all the way around. And here at the top where the stem is, I'm just going to do a little trim on either side. That way I can pull that piece down in the center. And then the cut is going to go right where the bars are. Okay. Once you get it completely glued down, you can go back and trim off any excess fabric. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used to create today's project. The list will not only tell you what you need, it'll also give you how much and where I purchased the materials. So you can see here on the back I trimmed off all the excess, and then I went through and I just added in a few little areas that were lifting up a little bit, some more glue to make sure that was well sealed. Turn it over and look at that, a very beautifully covered pumpkin, and that was so easy by using this second frame to help hold everything down. So now I want to put a hat on top of my snowman, and I found this adorable half a hat at craftoutlet.com. And here on the back you want to feel there is a wire right down the center. You want to poke a hole on either side of that wire. That's going to help us to attach it to our wreath form here. We want to attach it to the wire stem here on our pumpkin. And I'm going to be using black pipe cleaner. So the first thing I want to do is get this attached to the pumpkin. And then I want to also attach a hanger here. So you want to run it through one hole, around the wire stem, and then back through the other hole. Pull down nice and snug, give a couple twists. Trim those pipe cleaners. And then I'm going to tuck them forward so I don't see them and that they're not sharp on the back. Okay, and now I'm going to put another pipe cleaner in. And then the other end I'm going to feed through the other hole. So it's pulled down. Okay. Now I'm going to take these two ends, I'm going to twist them together a couple times, open them, and then take one of the short ones, wrap it around the long, and then take the other side and do the same thing, wrap the short one around the long. So you have one strong loop. And then I'm going to grab it and pull it back up. Now this is what I'm going to use to hang my wreath when we're done. You can pull it together and twist it a couple times. So my hat is on my snowman. Now I will be adding some hot glue to kind of hold that down, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. Next thing I want to do is get the face on my snowman. I pulled out one of the larger carrots from my Easter stash. I'm going to trim off the ends here. Now if you don't have a carrot in your Easter stash, you can always use a piece of orange felt and cut it out in a triangle or the shape of a carrot. You can also use a thin piece of wood, cut it in a triangle and paint it orange for the nose. So there are lots of different things that you can do. So I think I want my nose kind of in the middle there and angled up a little bit. Okay. And I just cut out two round for the eyes. And then I tried different things for the mouth. So I thought that was kind of cute. But I think I kind of like this one. I came up with kind of a quirky smile. And add that. I think that's cute. And then the hat's going to come down. Yeah, he looks like he's smiling at you. But have fun with it. Try a couple different types. I even tried these for eyes. They're a little too big. But go ahead and play with it until you find something that you like. You just don't want the face to be too far down. We are going to be adding a scarf down here. And of course you don't want it up too high because we will be pulling that hat down a little bit. So I think that placement is pretty good. Kind of keep it right on the top of that curve. And to attach these, I'm just going to be using hot glue. If you're enjoying today's content, please hit that subscribe button, and when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content, and I do upload new content every week. So cute. Okay, now I want to get my hat attached a little bit better and glued down. Get my positioning. And first start here on the sides. Get that hat glued down. I have my hat on and I'm much happier now that I kind of glued it down. I did push it forward a little bit because I didn't want to see anything underneath. I'm very happy with it now. We're going to add a scarf to our snowman. Now this is a fleece scarf that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I already used part of it on another project. So I just want to measure the base here of where the head is to get an idea of how much I'm going to need. And then I'm going to cut a piece. Now I'm just going to kind of do a tri-fold, see how thick of a scarf I want and what part of the scarf I want to show. Okay, I like that. I like that pattern there. So now I'm just going to add a couple dabs of hot glue so that this will stay folded and the way that I want it to sit. Okay, so this is the side I want to show. Now I folded over another small piece across the top here. This is what I'm going to glue onto the bottom. Now here on the sides, turn this up. You're going to need to fold that in and glue it down. So you need to fold this top little piece down. Now that's the section that you've glued. And then fold it over and glue it down. You don't want to cut it off, you want to leave it there because you need that thickness to hold it in place. You want to do the same thing to the other side. And just check, make sure that it's nice and glued on. If it's not, attach it wherever it's loose. I think that looks really cute. Perfect so far. Now I want to cut a piece here that has the fringe. I like that. So you need to decide how long you want to have the piece that's going to come over. You can always cut it shorter, so I'm going to cut mine a little on the longer side. I'm going to take this piece and cut it in half as well. Okay, now I just want to fold in the sides a little bit. I want the thickness to be about the same thickness as my scarf so far. So we're going to have one that's going to come over the top, and then the other ones we're going to glue to the back. And I'm going to do this one the same way I did this. So I'm going to attach one piece to the top here, and I just want to line it up with the top of the piece I've already laid down. And this one we're going to glue on the back. Now I'm really happy with how the scarf came out. I love his expression. It is just so sweet. Now the last thing I want to add is this wood cutout. This comes in a package. Let's see, you get 3. It says Let It Snow. And there's a couple different places where you could put this. I was thinking maybe on the hat in the center. You could do it maybe a little lower on the hat, but I think I like it here on the scarf. So I'm going to attach it here on the scarf just using some hot glue. And there you go. We are all done. What a fun winter wreath. A great way to greet your guests. Very quick, easy, and fun to make. To get started on our project today, you're going to need a 14-inch wire wreath form. This one happens to be silver, but it doesn't matter what color. You can use any one. You're also going to need 5 rolls of the light blue mesh and 5 rolls of the white mesh, and some pipe cleaners cut in half. I have my mesh unwrapped and I have 1 roll of the blue and 1 roll of the white laid out. You want to cut all of your mesh into strips at 15 inches. I prefer to use a rotary cutter. I get a really nice clean cut, but if you don't have one, of course, you can use scissors. The rotary cutter here that I'm using, I did pick up from the Dollar Tree, and it works very well. I usually get a good 6 to 8 months use out of it before I have to replace it. So I think that's a great deal for $1.25. We're going to be doing my rosebud method. Now, if you have not seen me do this method, it is a fabulous method. You can use any of the Dollar Tree mesh and get a beautiful no fray base with this method. I'm going to be putting 3 pieces in each bundle. So one bundle will have 2 blue and 1 white, and the next one will have 2 white and 1 blue. And I'm also going to be using my Bodabra. I do have arthritis in my hands, and this makes it much easier to hold my bundles for me as I make them. Now, to do the rose bundle method, you take your piece of mesh that's cut at 15 inches. You take the 2 cut ends and you fold them over themselves by about 1 inch. Press down. Come to the side, make sure the side is lined up. You want to fold over by about 1/2 inch. And then continue to fold all the way to the other side. It should take you 4 folds. The side that has the seam is the side you want to go down. Okay. I'll show you again. 15 inches. Cover the ends by about 1 inch and push down. Make sure the end is fully lined up and fold over by about 1/2 inch, and then continue to fold as you go. Should take about 4 folds to get to the other side. Take the seam side and put that down. You'll need 1/2 pipe cleaner. Now, if you have good hands, you can hold the bundles in your hands. If you don't have a bow maker and you need help, you can also use one of the little pink clips that you can get at Dollar Tree. So you want to wrap it around the center, pull it to the back, and give a couple twists. And then to attach these to our wreath form, we're going to be attaching it to the 2 bars here in the center. And in each section, and the section is between the 2 crossbars, you're going to be placing 6 bundles. Now, these bundles are nice and large, and as you can see, 6 bundles will fully cover a section. I've already completed 1 section, and now I'm working on my 2nd section. But look at how beautiful. The ends look like the center of a rose, which is why I call it my rose bundle method. And there is absolutely no fraying with this method. And it gives you such a beautiful and textured base. I love it. I'm going to finish off my base and then I'll be back and we can move forward. I have my rosebud base completely finished and I am very pleased. It's so nice and thick and full, and as you can see, there's absolutely no fraying with this method. I did use the full 10 rolls of mesh, 5 of the blue and 5 of the white. That gave me about 5 to 6 bundles per section on the wreath, and as you can see, that was plenty to give me a really nice thick base. This is the sign that I've chosen to use today. I did pick this up from craftoutlet.com. It was about $3.50. It is a metal sign. Remove any stickers that might be on the back. And then this did come with a jute cord hanger. I removed that and I replaced it with some floral wire. I just picked up my floral wire from Dollar Tree. So I come in through the hole and over the top and twist it together and leave a nice long piece there so I can attach it to my wreath. So I've done that to both sides. This guy's ready to go onto the wreath. Let's work on the bow now. I have my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I love this machine. It helps me so much. I do have arthritis in my hands. You'll need a couple full-length pipe cleaners. And I pulled out 3 ribbon for this wreath. Now, I did, when I purchased the sign, I did purchase some ribbon to go with it. And for the life of me, I have no idea what I did with it. So I pulled out some other ribbon that I have. So if you happen to purchase the sign and the other ribbon, just use the other ribbon. These two I picked up from papermart.com. That's also another good site to pick up ribbon. And this is 2.5 inches, has that light blue background and those really cute little snowmen. And then this one is also 2 inches or 2.5 inches. And this is sheer and it has the white snowflakes on top. And this one at the time I bought it, and these are all 10-yard rolls, was $3.95. And this one with the snowman was $5.45. And then I'm also going to use this one, and this is 1.5 inches. This one I did pick up from Costco or Kirkland. And I really like this, especially for winter. Look at it, it's a beautiful white background and it has stitching of silver in it. It's so pretty. It gives that frosty look and feel I'm looking for. Now I'm going to start with this one right here. And I think I want my tails to be relatively long. So again, I'm going to measure out my tails this time at about 10 inches. And then I'm going to pinch and twist and come down between the 2 large dowel rods. Now here on your tails, you want the nice side of your ribbon to face up, but once you come through and you go to make your loops for your bow, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing down. Now on this ribbon, I'm going to measure my loops at about 5 inches, and I'm only going to do 2 loops on either side. And now I'm going to go to the 1.5 inch ribbon. I really like it. It's so pretty. Again, I'm going to measure my tails a little on the longer side and go about 10 inches. Pinch and twist. And with this ribbon, I'm going to do 3 loops on either side, and I'm going to do them right at 5 inches. Now I'm going to move to this beautiful snowman ribbon. Again, I'm going to measure my tails here at about 10 inches. If I decide I don't want the tails long, I can always trim them shorter, but I'm thinking long tails on this one. Pinch and twist. And with this ribbon, I'm going to measure my loops at 4 inches. So they're slightly smaller, and I'm going to do 2 loops on either side. And I'm going to go back to this really pretty silver ribbon. This time I'm only going to measure the tails at 8 inches. Pinch and twist. And I'm going to do 2 loops on either side at 4 inches. Now I cut a piece about 19 inches of my snowman ribbon. And I just want to take that and make a loop. I want my loop to be about 3 inches, but I need the ribbon to come over itself by at least 1 inch. So I just kind of lay it down, measure out 3 inches and pinch, and then scrunch it together. Okay, so I have a cut piece here, and at the bottom the short cut piece should go down. I'm going to place this in the center. That's going to be my center loop, and it's going to give me an extra tail. Okay, take a full length pipe cleaner, slide it down on one side underneath all the ribbon until you get next to the dowel rods. Pull it up on either side. I always like to pinch, and then I push down as far as I can on my ribbon so I can get it nice and snug, and then pinch right at the top. This helps me lift it right out, and it keeps everything stacked. Press down, cross over those pipe cleaners and pull them to the back. Get that really nice and snug and give it a couple twists. These pipe cleaners aren't going to be long enough to get it onto my wreath, so I just add another one, place it in the center, give a twist or two. Then take one of the short pipe cleaners and wrap it around one of the longer ones. You do that to both sides. Now that's fully secure, and you have plenty of pipe cleaner to get this onto your wreath. So I have a center loop, so I'll lift that up, and then I hold it right in the middle. Keep the pipe cleaners in the back. This way I know I'm not going to pull too hard and pull out any of my loops, and I can then adjust, pull down all my tails, separate and open up my loops. Okay, so that's approximately what your bow should look like. I always do my final adjusting, and I'll trim my tails once I get it onto the wreath. But I really love those 3 ribbons together. They perfectly complement each other. Gives me that frosty feel that I'm looking for. So I'm going to place my sign in the center, but I want it over to one side so it kind of reaches the edge. I still want to see a little bit of the wreath on the side. And the reasoning is I want to put my bow up here, and I want half of the tails to come across this way, maybe a few to come forward, and then the rest to come down on this side, as my bow is nice and big. And this is why I don't trim my tails until I get it onto my wreath. So these will probably get cut a little shorter that come down towards the sign, whereas these that are longer are going to stay the length that they are. Now to get my sign and my bow attached, you just use the pipe cleaners or your floral wire. You separate your mesh once you find its position, and you feed that down through your mesh until you can get to your wire frame in the back. You attach it here to the wire frame, and you can attach it anywhere on that wire frame that you need to get your sign and bow to sit in the proper position. I have my bow and sign attached, and I'm very pleased. My sign's not going to go anywhere. Now normally I like to put all four sides down, but because this is metal, I'd either have to punch more holes in it, or you can also use a cable tie mount and attach those with E6000. But I think the wire is going to be plenty. Now there's only one more item I want to add to this wreath to finish off that frosty feel. And it's a package of these Christmas ornaments that you can get at Dollar Tree. I really like the snowflakes. Now we have blue snowflakes here on the sign, but I think the white looks very pretty against that light blue and white background. So I do have one full package of these, and I'm going to be attaching them using hot glue and Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. I absolutely love this glue if you want to put a wreath outside. It takes 24 to 48 hours to fully cure, but once this glue does, it is not going to fall off your wreath. I tried last year on some Christmas wreaths that I put out front. It got full wind, rain, sleet, everything, and nothing fell off those wreaths. I was highly impressed. I recommend this glue if you're going to put anything outside. So I'm just going to work with these for my placement. I want to place some here flat on top, and then I'm also going to go around and kind of open up on the sides and then tuck some in here on the sides. I really like that. So I'll put a couple around the sides and a couple on the top. Put some of Aleene's right in the center. Then I'm just going to add a few dabs of hot glue. The hot glue will hold it in place until Aleene's can fully set up. I like that very much. I'm going to add the rest of my snowflakes, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product. And there you go. I've added all of my snowflakes, and I'm so pleased. They were the perfect final addition for my Winter Fresh Flurries wreath. For today's project, you're going to need one of the Crafter Square wooden wreath bases. These are 12 inches in diameter. I really like these. They are so versatile. You can do so many different things with it. Today we're going to be painting our base a basic white, and I'm just going to be using Apple Barrel's matte white paint. The paint is all nice and dry. Now I have two of these picks that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Now I've kind of fluffed them out, opened them up, and arced them so that they'll follow the shape of the wreath form. And I think they're very pretty. I think they're full enough. I'm not going to be adding anything else to them other than a bow. But before I attach them, I want to make my bow. This is the ribbon that we're going to be using today. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite ribbons. I did pick this up from craftoutlet.com and I have purchased this several times. It was $4.95 and this is 1.5 inches at 10 yards and it is made by Expressions. You want to cut 5 pieces of this ribbon at 16 inches and 1 piece at 4 inches. So I have 5 pieces cut at 16 inches, 1 piece cut at 4 inches, and a pipe cleaner. I'm going to be using my bow dabber to help hold everything. My hands are kind of bothering me today. So the first piece here is going to be our tails. So I'm going to fold this in half and I'm going to do a dovetail here on the ends. Cut from the fold to the end. And you get a nice little dovetail. So again, find the center, scrunch, place that in. It's always nice to have a bow maker because they hold everything for you. Okay, now on the next 4 pieces here of your 16 inch, you're going to fold it over itself by about 1 inch. I'm going to press down so you can find the center. Then you're going to scrunch it right in the center. And place that in your bow maker. Okay, after you get all of those in, I'm going to grab it and lift it up. Hold it nice and pinched, and then your 4-inch piece, this is going to be your center loop. So just take it and make a little loop, make sure it covers itself by about 1 inch, place that right into the center. Take your pipe cleaner, run it through the center loop there. Get it nice and tight. Pull it to the back. And give a couple good twists. Okay, and then as I fluff out my bow, I always like to hold it right in the center. Pull down your tails, open up your loops, and spread them out. Okay, so that's approximately what your bow should look like. I'll do my final adjusting once I get it onto the wreath. Now it's time to get these on. But before I attach those, I want to add a hanger to our wreath here. I just take a piece of jute cord, fold it in half to make a loop, and then double knot the bottom here. Okay, and then to attach that, take the loop, put it underneath. Okay, grab it and pull it through. Then pull that together. You want the knot to be on the back. And then here on the back, you want to glue the knot down. And just add a little bit of hot glue to the back and pull that through. And then trim off any excess. Dab more on the top. Now I have a perfect hanger for my wreath. Now I just need to decide where I want to place my picks. And I'm thinking probably right about there. And the bow in the center. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to do is hot glue these into place, and then I'm going to go over them with some floral tape to make sure that they don't come loose. Then I'm going to go over it with the floral tape. Now I picked the floral tape up at Dollar Tree over in the floral garden department. Now floral tape likes to stick to itself, so to get it started you want to wrap it around itself a couple times. Just continue to wrap until you secure your picks to your wreath form. My picks are nice and securely attached and everything looks nice and clean. And now we just need to attach our bow. And to do that I'm just going to use the pipe cleaners and wrap it around the wreath form here and tie it off in the back. And turn it over. Go ahead and fluff out your bow. I have my bow on and I'm really happy, but I think I need a little bit more greenery right behind the bow there. So I cut a couple pieces off of this greenery. It came on a really large stem. I believe I picked it up from Joann's. So it has a couple little berries there and then 2 leaves on each of them. And I want to attach this kind of right underneath the bow, just to fill in right there. Now see, I think that looks much better. So I have 1 piece for each side. And I'm just going to hot glue that into position. And then once that glue sets up, I will go back and wrap it like I did the other to make sure that it stays nice and secure. So I filled in behind my bow there, and then I decided I wanted to add some pine cones, and I went ahead and tipped them in white, and then I just glued them into the other greenery. I'm very happy with how it looks now. I think it's so pretty, big and full. There is one more thing I want to add. I have this cute little wood cutout. It says "Let It Snow." I painted it white, the same color as the base. And I want to attach it in the center right down here on the bottom. Just like that. And to do that, I'm going to attach it with some super glue, wood glue. And here you go, we are all done. I'm very happy with the end result. I like that pristine white with a little bit of the greenery, some flocked, some not. Oh, I think it's absolutely gorgeous and will be so beautiful in my kitchen this winter. To get started on our project today, you're going to need one of these. It's a set of ice skate cutouts. You can pick these up at Dollar Tree. They come in a pair like this. You're also going to need some wood cutout snowflakes. Now these come in a small package. You get 14 of them. I just pulled out 5. These also come from Dollar Tree. And then I'm also going to use these. Now these I picked up at Walmart. They came in a package like this. It was $4 and you get 12, so you get 3 of each of these. I'm only going to be using this snowflake, so I have 3 of that design and then 2 of this design. Dollar Tree also carries larger snowflakes that are larger than this. If you want to, you can use those, or you can just use these, whatever you have available, or you can hit Walmart. So to prepare these, you want to get one good coat over your ice skates and all of your snowflakes. Once that coat is dry, we'll come back and add some detail onto the ice skates and maybe a few of the snowflakes. We're definitely going to add detail to the ones here on our boots. But the first thing you want to do is just get one good coat of white paint all over. Make sure you get those edges because you will be able to see them once this is on your wreath. While painting the snowflake, you want to make sure to get into the little crevices, and you don't want to leave any paint pooling in those crevices. While our wood pieces are drying, we can move on and start working on our base. For this wreath, I've chosen to use the square wreath form that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. Now this wreath form is a 14-inch square wreath form. I do like these, especially when you're working with a square sign. You're also going to need some decorative mesh that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. Now this is what I call their good mesh. This comes out of their everyday box, and I know that because these packages are vacuum sealed. You will need 6 rolls of the light blue and 3 rolls of the white for this wreath. You'll also need a package of white pipe cleaners cut in half. You want to cut your mesh into strips of 6 inches. Now to make quick work of it, I like to layer my mesh, and each bundle will need 2 blue and 1 white. So I layer all 3, 2 rolls of the blue and 1 roll of the white, and cut them at the same time. We're going to be doing the curl method for the base today. So just start at one end and gently roll. Usually I can get about 2.5 to 3 rolls. Put that in your finger. Do the same thing to the other 2 pieces. You don't want to roll too tight, otherwise what happens is your ends will stick out a lot out through the ends there, and then you have a lot more fraying that way. And then I like to stack it with the white in the center and blue on either side. Take your pipe cleaner, wrap that around the center and pull it to the back. I always like to pull my mesh down so I can get a nice tight grip. And then I pinch right here at the base and then twist. And that's what your little bundle will look like. I'll show you one more time. You'll need 2 pieces of the blue and 1 of the white cut at 6 inches. Gently roll forward. About the size of a fat cigar. Should give you 2.5 to 3 rolls. Now you can hold it in your finger, you can use a clip, or if you have a bow maker, you can use your bow maker. Once you have all your bundles made, you can attach them to your wreath. Now this wreath has 8 sections. It has 4 corner sections and 4 straight sections. We'll be attaching our bundles to the center bar and the outer bar. And in the straight sections here, you will put 6 bundles. And in the corner sections, you will put 8 bundles. So 4 on this side and 4 on this side, and then 1 more, which makes 9 right here in the corner. And you do it right here on the inner bar to the center bar. That fills in those corners nicely. All you need is 1 additional bundle right there. So 9 bundles per corner and 6 bundles per straight. Just take those pipe cleaners, wrap it around the center bar and the bar on the outside, pull it in, give a good twist or 2, and then I always like to pull my pipe cleaners together and then push them back forward and just kind of grab and pinch them so they stay down, and then move that bundle over. That helps to keep my back nice and clean, and you won't be able to see those pipe cleaners from the front. You just keep attaching your pipe cleaners until you get the 6 in the straight sections and 9 in the corner sections. I have completed half of my base, and I am really loving how beautiful that looks. I really love that textural look that the curl method gives. Here on the back you can see that I have attached all of my pipe cleaners all the way around on the center bar and the bar on the outside. And then right here you can see I snuck 1 in on the center bar and the bar on the inner, and same thing on this corner. I'll do the same thing on the other 2 corners. As you can see, that fills that spot in nicely, and then if you don't do it, you'll see a little vacant space right here, and we don't want that. Once we place our sign, we want good anchorage there, and we want to make sure that's fully covered. I have my base all completed, and I'm really happy with the result. I think those 2 colors, the white and that beautiful light blue, look so good together. Very pretty and festive. Now this is your time to go in and to clean up anything that may look a little funny. If you have any fraying or anything that's sticking out that looks funny, just go through, clean it up, and nip it off. My ice skates are dry, so I've gone in and I've started to add some more detail. So I'm adding the black part of the boot. And I'm just using Apple Barrel regular black paint. But I wanted to show you a little trick that I learned that helps me get nice clean lines, and that is using a Sharpie. The fresher the better of the Sharpie. And then you can just go in and line out where you're going to be painting your black paint. And then this way you don't have to get all the way to the line. You just have to get up to the black Sharpie line. So then you end up with really clean, crisp black lines. That way I have a nice clean guide. It makes it much easier for me to paint it in. And the end result comes out nice and crisp. Makes it very easy. Now that I have my black paint done, I'm going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to work here on my snowflakes. And I have this Crafter Square glitter glue. This is what I'm going to use. Has a nice little point here, makes it easy. So I'm just going to go over the top of my snowflake here and add some silver glitter to it. Just go over the snowflake until it is covered with the glitter glue. You want to do that to both of your snowflakes. Now I've laid down all of the glue glitter that I want. I went ahead and did the laces, and then I also did a little decorative piece there at the top. I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to let this completely dry, and then I'm going to go in and do the blades down here. Now I'm working on the little snowflakes. I'm going in with the glitter glue and adding some glitter to each of them. And I'm doing it a little different on each of the different patterns. I don't want a whole lot, but I do want a little bit. They are snowflakes and they should glimmer and glisten at least a little bit. Very pretty. So add as much of the glitter glue to your snowflakes as you like. If you don't want to add any more glitter, you can skip this step. It's completely up to you. I'm now working on glitterizing the little blade down here. And I'm just using silver glitter and Mod Podge. You just want to get a good coating of the Mod Podge down on the ice skate blade. Now my black paint is completely dry, but my other glitter is not quite dry yet, so I do need to be careful. Once you get it coated with the Mod Podge, just go over and completely cover it with your glitter. Now I am on a plastic cutting mat. That way I can pick up my glitter when I'm done. Just shake off any extra glitter. This is the sign that I'm using on our wreath today. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I love Baby It's Cold Outside, and I really liked this, the ice skates on there. I did find the wood cutout ice skates at Dollar Tree last year, but my stores here for this year have already gotten them in. So, and I picked this sign up this year. This came out of my order that I just ordered last month, and it wasn't that expensive. It was only about $4. This is 10 by 10. It is nice and thick. On the back, it does come with a jute cord that is stapled in at the top. I did remove that. To prep it here to go onto my wreath, I glued on 4 pipe cleaners, 1 in each corner, and then I also covered it with a little bit of the ribbon just to make sure that that stays nice and secure. Normally I like to do a combination of the floral wire and the glued on pipe cleaners just in case the glue for the pipe cleaners fails, but this will help make it be a little bit more secure. So this sign is all ready to go onto our wreath. The sign's going to go right in the center and sit right up on top of the mesh. I like that the best. I always want that to be front and center. My sign is attached. It's nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. Once your sign is attached, you want to make sure that you trim and tuck your pipe cleaners. All those sharp ends you want to be facing forward so it won't scratch your door. We're going to work on our bow now. I'm going to be using the Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I really like this. I picked it up on Amazon. Now I have a little bit of this ribbon left over. I picked this up last year in the Christmas section at Dollar Tree. It is 2.5 inches by 3 yards. It does not have any wired edge. Just going to find the center. Place that in the middle. Then I'm just going to make 1 loop on each side at 4 inches. I just want to add a little bit of sparkle to the background. Now I'm also going to be using this ribbon. This ribbon I picked up at papermart.com. It's 2.5 inches. It is called Snowflake Sheer Ribbon. It was $3.95. And then I'm also going to be using this ribbon. This is 1.5 inches. This one I picked up at Costco. This is one of their great $6.99 ribbons. You get 50 yards, and that is really beautiful ribbon. So I'm going to be using this, but anything with the snowflake, white, blue, silver motif will work. I'm going to go to my sheer snowflake ribbon, and I'm going to measure a tail at 5 inches and pinch. As I come through, I'm going to twist. Where my tail is, the nice side should be facing up, but once I come through, you want to twist and have the nice side facing down. I'm going to measure my loops at 4 inches. I'm going to be doing 2 loops on either side at 4 inches. Now I'm going to move to the 1.5 inch ribbon. Again, I'm going to measure my tail at 5 inches. I'm going to make 2 loops on either side at 3 inches. Now I'm going to add one more loop. This is going to be my center loop. And this one I'm only going to make 2 inches. When I come back to the other side for my tail, I'm going to come between the large dowel rod and the small one in the front. That helps me to hold that piece here on this side for when I tie my bow. Then I can measure out my tail and trim. You will also need 2 full-length pipe cleaners. Take one pipe cleaner and slide it in up next to the dowel rods. Come together here at the top. Lift up. This will help you keep it stacked. Make sure that little piece is still over on that side. And then I like to pull my pipe cleaners nice and tight and wrap them around to the back. So that way I can get a good grip, pull real tight, and then give a good twist. Looks like my pipe cleaners are long enough. I'll still be able to attach it to my wreath, so I don't need my second one. And now I'm just going to pull down my tails and open up my loops. And that is approximately what your bow should look like. I'll play with it a little bit more once I get it on the wreath. Now I want to place my bow up in this corner. I'm going to have my ice skates kind of down in this corner, and then I'll fill in around the rest of the wreath with the snowflakes. But I want this guy up here. And I'm going to attach it the same way I did the sign. I'm going to take the pipe cleaners, separate the mesh until I get down to the wire frame, and attach it to the wire frame. And again, I can attach it anywhere on that wire frame that I need to get it to sit the way that I want to on my wreath. I have my bow attached. I'm really happy with the result. I think it is the perfect size. It fills up the corner and makes it extra sparkly. Very pretty. My ice skates are completely dry. I did decide to remove the jute cord, and I replaced it with this really thin silver ribbon that I have. And then once I did that, I just kind of played with my ice skates and looked at how I kind of wanted to have them lay. Once I decided that, I did tie a little knot up at the top here. So it'll just make it a little easier when I go to attach this to my wreath. Now I'd like to place these here on this side of my wreath. I want to place this one facing inward so it kind of fills in the corner. And then the other one faces the other way, and I like this arrangement the best. So this is how I'm going to attach it. And I'm basically going to hot glue it on, and then here at the top I'm going to add some floral wire and then run the floral wire to the back. Just in case anything happens and these get loose, they don't fall off. But first I want to get my placement correct. So once I've laid them down, I'm going to just hot glue them. right onto the mesh. So they're now glued on. I cut myself a nice piece of floral wire, and I'm going to attach it right here to the knot that I made. Okay, so I run it through the ribbon there. Now I'm just going to pinch right here at the base where the ribbon is and twist. Okay, so you can see it's attached to the ribbon there. Now I'm going to take the floral wire and feed it down and attach it to the wreath form. This is just extra security in case my hot glue fails. I don't want them to fall off the wreath. And I have them nice and secure. I have my floral wire attached. I did put a little drop of hot glue because I want my ribbon to sit up on top. And then I made this small little bow. Just wrap it around itself several times and tie it in the center. I'm going to place this right at the top where the knot is. And then I made two little simple bows just like you would tie your shoelace. And I'm going to place one of those here at the top over the hole on each of my skates. Very cute. Absolutely adorable, nice and festive. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue in all of my little snowflakes here that we made earlier, and I'm just going to place them throughout the open spaces here on the wreath. Once I get them glued on, I'll come back and show you the finished product. And here you go, we are all finished. I am very pleased with the end result. I think those snowflakes were the perfect final addition to this baby it's cold outside winter wreath. I really do love the color combination of that light blues, the white, and the silver together for winter. I think it's a gorgeous combination. For our project today, you're going to need one of these Snowman wire wreath forms. You can pick this up at Dollar Tree and it's only $1.25. And I really like this form. I even like that it has the little arms here for your snowman. You're also going to need some what they call fingering loops yarn. And I did order this on Amazon. You can find it in my Amazon shop. And I thought this was so pretty. When I ordered it, I did order 3 skeins, and they are each, where did I find it? 7.6 yards. And it does come in 74 different colors, so if you wanted to use this on a different wreath and need a different color, they have it. I'm not quite sure how much it's going to need, so I'll let you know at the end. Hopefully it's not going to take all 3. So you need to find your end. And I'm going to start here at the neck. I'm going to go down and then around the head. I'm going to start right here at the crossbar. Just kind of pull that tail through and back up. That way I can hot glue it to itself. To get my ends secured. Now it's up to you. You can pull out a section, which is usually what I do. It makes it a little easier, of the yarn, cut it, and then work with that until you get to the end. It's kind of hard to work with such a large ball of yarn, but that is completely up to you, whatever works easiest. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it to the side here and then start wrapping. And you need to wrap close enough that you do not see that wire frame underneath. Keep wrapping and then just kind of push over. So I'm making nice progress and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Now I'm at the end of the piece that I cut, and it's best to seal this by gluing it to itself. If you try to glue it to the wire frame, it's not going to hold very well. You're better off just gluing it to itself. That way the glue's not going to let up. And then you'll start your next piece the same way you did at the top. Just glue it to itself and start wrapping. I have my base covered in the loopy yarn, and it will take 2 skeins. I have just a very little bit left over from the second to cover your base. So I'm really happy with this. Look at that beautiful texture. You kind of have to go in and fluff it out once you kind of scrunch it together to get it to fluff back out. But I love the texture. It's soft, fluffy, white. It looks just like what a snowman should look like. Now I pulled out a carrot from my Easter supply. I'm going to trim off the greenery here and add a little nose for him. Now if you don't have a carrot in your Easter collection, then you can always cut a small piece of wood. You can also cut a small piece of like foam board in a triangle, paint it. You can cover it in felt. You want to stick with something that looks a little bit more fabric so it goes with the snowman. And I think I'm going to bury the end. Let's see what this looks like if I kind of bury that end in there. Yeah, I like that. Now you want to decide before you add your nose which side you want your hat on, because you can flip it on either side and choose which one you want as your front. So my hat is going to go on the left side. So I think that looks good if I kind of bury the base of the nose. I like that. So I'm going to add it there, and I'm just going to hot glue it in. That's one thing when you're working with yarn, everything attaches very well using just hot glue. Oh, so cute. Oh, I love this guy. Now for his hat, I'm going to be using this. Now I picked this up from craftoutlet.com. This is $2.50. This is a snowman hat ornament. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I really love that. I think it's absolutely adorable. And I looked at the size and I thought that's the perfect size for this wreath form. So you just want to take some of your loops and kind of pull them down. You want to leave a few there in the back. That's going to help you. We're going to attach the hat right here to the frame. Okay. And to do that, to help us, we're going to glue onto the back of that a couple pipe cleaners here. I'm also going to remove this wire that is here to hang it as an ornament. So I put a little droplet of hot glue down, put my pipe cleaner in, I cut my pipe cleaner in half, and then I add a little bit more hot glue on the top. I'm going to be applying 4 on the back, 2 on the bottom here, and 2 near the top, so that we can attach it to the wireframe here on our snowman wreath. Now I've tied down my hat, I have trimmed my pipe cleaners, and I'm tucking them down. And then I'm hitting right over the top if there's any sharp edges with some hot glue. Also here where the crossbars are, they're laying flat right onto the hat, so I'm going to add some glue here as well. let your glue fully set up before you move forward. Now the rim of my hat kind of turns up on either side. So from the front I can still see a little bit of the black wire here that is on the wired form for the hat. So I'm going to trim that a little shorter so I do not see it, and I'm going to use my bolt cutters. Just hit the ends there with a dab of hot glue so you don't have a sharp end, and then fluff your yarn out around it. Look at how cute that hat looks. Oh, I'm very happy with that. And now we need to give him a scarf. It's chilly outside. And I picked this up from Dollar Tree a couple years ago. It's one of their fleece scarves. You can use any of the scarves that you can find at Dollar Tree. They even come out with some holiday ones. You can use that. You can use any old scarves that you have. You can also go to like Goodwill or a secondhand store and pick up an inexpensive flannel shirt and cut that down and make a scarf. You can also just use ribbon instead of a scarf. But I want him to have that real feel of coldness outside for a winter wreath. So I cut a piece off the end of a regular scarf that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I cut it at about 17 inches. That does not include the tassels down here. And then I folded it in half and cut it lengthwise. So now I have two pieces that are the same. So I'm going to do a tri-fold here and fold each side in so that my scarf is a little thicker. And then I'm going to tack that down with hot glue. Just hit a few little spots, one at the top, one at the bottom, and a couple in the middle so it stays folded. You want to do that to both pieces. Okay, so I'm going to decide here how long I want this piece in the front to hang down. And I think only a couple inches. And I'm just going to get it attached here with some hot glue. Okay, so I cut the other end off. I'm going to tuck that in right underneath here. I like that. I think that looks really cute. Now I really like the scarf. I think it looks really cute on the wreath. Now I originally bought a pair or two pairs of these kids juncture mittens. I thought they would be small enough, but they're not. They're very large, so I'm not going to use those. So I came up with, let's make our own mittens. Since the hat is made of felt, I'm going to make some mittens out of felt. And I just laid down a piece of paper. I kind of drew out the prongs there and then drew a mitten around it so I knew that it would cover all of them. Then I pulled out 2 sheets of black felt. Then you just want to lay it down and cut both sheets at the same time, and you need to do this twice. So I have my mittens here. And the reason why you want to do it twice is because we're going to put one on this side and one on this side. Okay. So let's do this side. Just kind of move the yarn out of the way for right now. Put the one underneath down and in a position where all of those wires are covered, and then get your hot glue and attach it. Just going to go over the wires here. Get a good amount of hot glue down, make sure that it's all covered. Okay. Then you can take the other one and line it up and put it down over the top. Once that glue sets up, then just go right around the edge and add a little bit more glue to make sure that that is well sealed. I think that looks really cute, and it's felt, and the hat is also made of felt, so it goes together very well. And there you go, we are all done. I absolutely love the end result of my frosty winter snowman wreath. I think he's absolutely adorable. Now here on the back, I did decide to cut an extra piece of felt, and I covered up my mess back here for attaching the hat. Now it looks nice and clean, and there's nothing on the back there that I have to worry about. Also here at the crossbar, I attached a pipe cleaner so that I can hang my snowman. I think he is absolutely adorable, and this is one of those projects that was very fun to make.